Hello, welcome. Let's see, today is Tuesday. Happy Coffee with Lily. So happy to have you here. What a weekend. June has been, I'm not going to lie, it's been pretty intense. I think I posted this on my stories a while ago with the healing groups, learning retreats that I have been participating in, and it has been amazing. It has been fulfilling, life-changing, for lack of a better term. So I'm really honestly kind of feeling like I'm getting back to normal. I think that I do crave a lot when I'm learning about myself, as I do crave a lot of routine. It doesn't have to be very strict routine, but there are different things that I have, practices throughout my day, and time that I block off to really kind of stay in my body, really stay grounded within myself. And I have been feeling a little bit off with that too. So this morning I was able to do a lot of that. And here I am showing up. So many great learning things that I learned this weekend with Mastin Kipp. And if you don't follow Mastin Kipp, follow him, please, if you feel so called. In my opinion, he is really, not only is he on the cutting edge of all of the mental health stuff that I talk about here. I don't take his same approach, but I definitely learn from him, and I am a constant student, and he is one of my teachers. And I do also think that he is a revolutionary mind when it's going to come to this whole world shift of healing on a worldly level, whether that be the social issues that are going on, the environmental stuff. I really just think that he is one of those major forces that are going to open up to complete collective consciousness. And I really feel that deeply. A little bit about today. One of the things that I was thinking about over this weekend is, why is it okay for industries like the diet industry to market lifestyle changes, but that's not really something that the mental health industry or the healing or full body conscious mindfulness side of things really hasn't embraced? Because this is something that kind of a little bit came together for me. And I've known this, I think, for a long time, like in the last year, but I haven't really been able to put words to it. Because the more that I've healed my emotional blocks, the inner wounds, and more that I've been able to do more things, be the person I want to be, love myself, have people in my life that really love me, what I realized is that my life, because I was opening up these things and healing these deeper parts of myself that needed healing, my life just kind of shifted. And I did have a lifestyle change. And I think that's, if you're kind of struggling, I think it's important to think about. Because if you're struggling right now with whatever's popping up for you, whether that be anxiety, whether that be deep depression, whether that be, attracting the same type of toxic partner again and again, whether it's a lack of self-love, whether it is making, hard to make decisions for yourself, or knowing really what's your intuition, or what's fear, or there are, a lot of things that I work on with my clients and with myself. But I think what's really, really important to think about is this idea of healing, alignment, full self health, for lack of a better term, as a lifestyle. And when we're talking about lifestyle, we talk about, let's kind of parallel this a little bit to the diet industry, right? Now, let me just say this. I do not have a good relationship with the diet industry, so I just want to say that right here, right now. So trigger warning if this is triggering for you, if we do talk about diets, but if you can step away and kind of think of this from a, kind of a metaphorical level, that maybe this will help in a mindset shift with stuff's going on with you mentally, or, self-love, or that internal heart health, that you may really want. So when the diet industry, I feel like when they talk about lifestyle changes, they talk about behaviors, they talk about habits, they talk about, obviously, there is some marketing, very deep, insidious marketing going on regarding women's bodies, the way women should look, and men as well. There's a lot of pressure to look a certain way. And I do think, obviously, this is a side note, but that industry does capitalize on that type of FOMO, which is also a coping mechanism, and we could talk about that at a different time. But we talk about habits, right? There's a goal associated with the diet industry, just as there's a goal associated with, loving yourself. And I talk a lot here about having those healthy relationships, that love, that true love that you really want in your life, romantically, the relationship that you have with yourself, the relationships that you have on a friendship level, the relationship that you have with your job. So you're not dreading these things, or you don't run away from these things, or you're not really, really trying really hard to get all of these things that you really want. And so you're talking about a goal, right? And then we're also talk about changing habits, right? Changing behaviors. So for example, a behavior that I see a lot, when I used, with myself and also now in my practice, is, let's say it's, there's not enough time in the day. So the behaviors this is kind of like a belief that you have. So the behaviors maybe are, I'm always rushing around. I'm always stressed. I'm always in high anxiety. There's never enough time to do what I want to do. Some behaviors that you want to change would be like, I want to learn how to take time for myself, or I want to learn how to be balanced. So not only is that behavior just, and again, and I think this is a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit hard to understand. I feel like my brain is going all over the place. But the lifestyle change that you would have is not just about stopping these behaviors, but it's about learning maybe why it's hard for you to make that change, even though you really want it. Even though, who wants to feel stressed? Like, who wants to feel torn out of their skin and, have, different internal things come up, whether that's like eczema or IBS or an autoimmune disorder, right? No one wants that. So maybe figuring out why that you feel drawn to do all of these things all the time, right? And that would be the same, like, I would hope, with weight loss, right? And I think, again, maybe not completely grasp, but I think that people are grasping with intuitive eating and health at every size, that there's a bigger issue than really just changing your behavior. Because what do we know? We know now that you can really, really try to change your behavior, right? And you can maybe do it for a couple months, but it goes back to the same baseline that you were so used to doing for whatever reason. So the lifestyle shift, I feel like, in mental health and wellness, in this healing process and healing these inner wounds, is more about, what do you need to do to understand? Who do you need to bring into your circle to help you do that? And then really trying to, after you understand it, and really trying to figure out at the root level, instead of just the behavior level, where this is coming from. Why your baseline is this thing that you really don't want. And what happens is your whole, this whole thing happens, and it's so hard to describe because this happened to me without me even knowing it. Like, during my healing process, everything has changed about me. The amount of money that I've been making has increased. The love and relationships that I've attracted into my life has increased. The feelings I have about myself has increased, full of love. Everything really in my life has changed because I was open to this whole lifestyle change. And let me just say too that I do notice that when people dive into healing, they read all the books, read all the podcasts, consume everything, do this and do this and do that. While some of it I do believe is about doing, some of it is really just about taking your time with it, figuring out what it means to you, and bringing someone else in the picture to help you understand that. And I think support makes you heal much quicker than anything that you would do alone. In fact, in my experience, I reached a point when I couldn't do anything more alone, and I kept seeing all these limiting patterns coming up in my life. So I think just a little bit of a paradigm shift in your mind, if you have these limiting patterns popping up, is that maybe it's not just about stopping those limiting patterns, but really trying to create a different lifestyle, mindset. And it doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you have mentorship, therapy, coaches, somebody like me, when you are in this kind of healing container to really get to those root causes of those behaviors. And so it's not a short-term fix. So it's not, I feel good for a little bit, and then I go back to feeling like shit. Just a thought today. Bye. Oh, I forgot to mention. I am opening. Yes, I forgot. Enrollment has opened for my Align into Authenticity coaching program. So if you are at the point where you are, or you think you might be, ready to receive support in healing some emotional blocks so that you can have all of this freaking good stuff that you deserve, and that maybe that you're feeling like that you were made for it, but you just don't know how. I would invite you to go to meetwithlily, LILLI.com, to schedule a complimentary call with me so we can talk about how this would fit for you and if we would be a great fit to work together. I have opened up 3 spots. 1 is already taken, so that leaves 2 more. And this is closing soon, and it'll close as soon as the spots are filled, because I only have just a few more spaces left in my entire one-on-one coaching practice, which, so grateful. But if you are ready, or you think you might be ready to step into this healing, I want to be that person for you. Or if it's not me, find someone, because it really gets you to that place that you want to go. See you later.